Okay, so we move along to race number 5. What I do want to do is just call up the market quickly. It does look to be a tricky race where number 3, Unyielding, is your 7-2 favourite with number 7, Saint Anastasia. And you're getting 7-1 about Opera Swing, 7-1 Sarajevo, and it's 10-1 in Better Those. Darren, what do you like in this particular contest? I thought it's a wide open race where probably the swingers, exactors, trifectas, quartets are going to pay some good money.
Yes, Brandon. Just for a matter of interest, what price is Soft Touch trading at?
Soft Touch at the moment, you're getting 30-1.
Okay, she's going to have to be my narrow first choice, strictly on her Cape Town form and her turf form. She won a maiden. She ran under a length behind Sarki over 1,800 meters. She's had 3 runs in the Eastern Cape, all on the poly track, and she didn't handle the going. So back on the turf, she's dropped 9 points in her last 2 starts. I can see major improvement with Soft Touch at a massive price. Now, when you're looking past her, Sarajevo, 2 from 5 over course and distance, runs well fresh. Unyielding, peak run, but she is limited. This race gets tricky. Trip to Barberton's got a chance. Saint Anastasia, it gets very wide open. But Soft Touch, maybe a small each way bet at 30-1.
Yeah, so some good value over there from Darren Burrows. He likes a bit of Soft Touch. Daryl, I thought the 6 horse might have a squeak. Dennis Schwarz, I'm a big fan of Dennis. I know you equally so. I think he's a top rider with the opportunities he'll deliver.
Yeah, Brandon. She has been off for just on 4 months. I don't know her well-being. Surprisingly, number 8, Soft Touch, is my second pick. I just would have preferred it if it was an 1800. In saying that, have you seen the pen reading? It's soft, Brandon. The pen's 30. So it's going to make it a bit more testing. And I think there's no doubt she represents a lot of value. I also found value in number 14, Maiden's Cove. Now, this is the mare that unfortunately clipped heels last time out. Excuse me, Brandon. This robot isn't helping me. Yeah, this is the mare that clipped heels last time out with Gabriel. She came down. I just hope that hasn't dented her confidence because she's come right back down in the ratings. She's got a 1 draw. I think on some of her turf form, she comes into the play of the year. And from a 1 draw, I think she'll get the run of the race. So if you're looking for 2 nice roughies to include in your trifectas and quartets, I think you can't go wrong with numbers 8 and 14.
Yeah, it's quite a trappy race. I don't like the look of it. I think you're going to have to go wide in the exotics. Let's put up those selections on your screen, see what the guys are doing. All right, so this is Jackpot 1. We're going to take no chances. We're going to go field in the first leg. That's what Darren Burrows suggests we do. By 1, 2, 6 and 10. By 1 to 12. So horses 1 to 12. That will be the 7th race. Is that right, Daryl? The 7th race. I just want to call that up and see. All right. So leg 3. Is that right? Race 7?
Yes.
Okay, is correct. I was just trying to get my guard up here because I'm not getting the updates that we need, and we're going banker 1 at the end, Daryl. So that's Darren Burrows' jackpot, 720 rand. So just to repeat that so there's no confusion, so 1 to 15 in leg 1, by 1, 2, 6 and 10 in leg 2, by horses 1 to 12 in leg 3, by banker 1. 720 rand the spend. You need to be on race 5 at 1350. Let's go to race number 6, and this goes off at 14.25. Jackpot 2 starts now. The market at the moment in race number 6, I'd imagine that Bournemouth is going to be right on top. That's going to refresh. The favourite at the moment, Bournemouth, 100% 17 to 10. So quite a bit of money around. 2 double check at 9 to 2. The 3 My Boy Reese 7 to 1. It's 8 to 1 and better those. I thought this was one of the stickouts on the card. I really like Bournemouth this afternoon. Can you give me confidence, Darren? I know that you've always been a big fan of Bournemouth as well. Gets the draw today. Services of Richard Fourie. Surely 17 to 10 must be a good price.
Yeah, Brandon, he's the horse to beat for sure. You know, we've labelled him on 3 occasions and he won all 3 times. He stays well. He's back on the turf. That's not a problem. 61.5 kilos, a lot of weight, but he could be well ahead of these. A double check now from the Snaith stable. Won a cracker last time out. She likes the Fairview turf circuit, and she could run well too. Now, Lardo's Pride was an impressive winner last time out. Bournemouth does hold him on form. And then Ella's Island with only 54.5 kilos, he could be competitive.
The only question mark would be that 61.5 kilograms for Bournemouth. I think at the end of the day, we do need to respect that weight does stop trains. Daryl, I had a good chat to you about Bournemouth. And, I mean, he's a horse that can turn it on. He's got the draw in his favour today. I don't think that really means too much with him because he does like to come from the back end. What do you like over here?
Yeah, Brandon, you say that, but when he won 3 starts back, he actually overcame his white draw and he went handy. He sat up second. So it's quite an easy horse to ride based on what we can see on paper. He can push forward or he can be given a chance. I'm not reading too much into the 61.5 kilograms. Excuse me, Brandon. The reason being is in his later starts, he won with a bit in hand and he only picked up the 2 kilogram penalty. So he's earned that rating and he's taking on lesser company over here. So certainly the one to beat. I mean, he's improving and he's going the right way. So it's hard to knock his chances. The horse I backed him up with is Lardo's Pride. Now, this horse has been desperately unlucky on a few occasions. In his latest 2 starts, Zietsman has obviously said to the jockey, Chase, whatever happens, don't get caught wide again, because he hasn't had luck in running on several occasions. Don't get caught wide, drop him out and let him do his best work late. And the last time out, he turned it on magnificently. I'm sure Dennis is going to give him a chance, let him do his best work late. So I think he could possibly follow up on his latest victory. If you are playing a trifecta and a quartet, a nice roughie at any old price, I think it's 40-1. Include number 8, Gimme Gorgeous. Now his local debut was on the poly track with the tongue tie. The tongue tie gets removed. And you can see he's got some fair form prior to that. I think with Muzi in the irons, I mean, Muzi's riding out of his skin currently. He's going to give him a lot of confidence from a 1 draw. Nice roughie for trifectas and quartets.
Okay, yeah. Probably not clean cut for Bournemouth. I like him. I think 17-10 is a decent price. But you've heard from Daryl and Darren. There could be 1 or 2 that we do need to watch in behind Bournemouth. Let's put those selections up. Let's see what we're doing. It's the start of Jackpot 2. 1, 2, 6 and 10 in the first leg for Darren Burrows by field. So 1 to 12 in leg 2 by Banker 1. And then at the back, we're going to go field over there as well. I like the way they've structured this jackpot. 720 Rand will be the spend. You can choose if you only want to take a percentage. If you want to add, subtract, it's entirely up to you what you do, but make sure that you won. Race 6 kicks off the second jackpot. I think it's going to pay some decent money, and the off time is 14.25. Race 7 goes off at the top of the hour, 3 o'clock, 1400 meters for the Play the Soccer 610 and 13, merit rated 86 handicap. The market at the moment has your favourite Alinga Longa. That's number 3 at 7-2, number 1 Moon Game at 9-2, and at 7-1 and better those. All right, so let's go to Darren first. Darren, again, it looks to be quite an open race. There's a few horses that know how to win. Moon Game, one of those horses. Alinga Longa needs to be respected, and even Brendan James. I know that Brendan Fegan will probably be at the races, and this horse apparently doing nicely back at home.
Yes, Brandon, I thought a very hard race. I put the field in my exotics. Now, the improver in the race has got to be Slings and Arrows, as he doesn't really handle the poly track, but he has a terrific turn of foot on the turf. Others to consider, IF Yellow Yakul. I think he's going to improve further. He hasn't finished far back. And Dawn of a New Era, I think Daryl's very strong on this one. So I think let's cross over to Daryl and he can give his advice on this race.
Yeah, I think Daryl will give us all the confidence we need. I actually haven't spoken to him about this particular race, but he's going to tell us a bit more. Daryl, I just want to pick your brain a bit, because did you watch his grey last time out? EF Jalajo.
Yeah, I did.
Was climbing.
He actually had no luck in the early stages of that race. He was caught very far back, and then he switched towards the inside. Didn't have the easiest of passages in the straight. But Brandon, he comes with his issues. And coupled with that is, if you like his chances, you have to like several others on paper because not much separating himself. And Lingalonga, Prince Vian, Al Ramiachi, there's not much separating a few on the who Formula Line, and Secret is ours. So I've actually gone for one completely off the page of that represents none of those form lines in Dawn of a New Era. I don't know if you saw his later starts on the poly track when he returned after a rest. He absolutely took off in the latter stages. I'm just thinking that that run would have brought him on. He's going to strip fitter. He performs well on a turf surface. He's going to have the run of the race from draw 1. If you go back to his penultimate starts, it could have even been over the course in distance when he ran second. On that occasion, he didn't get the cover. I actually think this horse with a bit of cover is a different proposition. So I've taken my chances. I mean, this is a wide open event like Darren touched on. You could possibly go field because you can make a case for numerous of them. I just thought he represented the value in the race. Number 11, Dawn of a New Era. Let's hope I get a run for my money.
Okay, Dawn of a New Era. In the silks of Suzette and Barsifalion, we'll be watching out for that one. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what we're doing. Daryl Marie suggests that maybe we have a small win bet on Dawn of a New Era. You can't get hurt. 10-1 does look to be lots of value. Healthy respect for a number of these horses, including Windsock, who might just have a say late in the day. All right, this particular race, being race 7, goes off at 3 o'clock and it's over 1,400 meters. The 8th race, the penultimate race on today's 9-race program. The favourites, number 1, Bonnaroo at 13-20. Number 8, Bobbles and Beads at 6-1. 7, Princess Debs at 10-1 with Madam Vicky. And it's 14-1 and better those. All right, let's go to Darren first. Darren, give us the confidence. This horse 13-20, Bonnaroo. I'm sure many people will banker this.
Definitely. I was very impressed with her last start. She showed blistering pace behind Federer. And she actually gave Federer a big run for her money because I labelled Federer that day and Bonnaroo got close. Back in this type of race, 1,200 on the turf, a perfect race for her. I think she'll take a power of beating. And I think Bobbles and Beads will chase her home, but I can't see her beating her.
Maybe the exacta. Maybe we take the favourite to beat Bobbles and Beads. Let's see what Daryl suggests we do. Daryl, I called the race last time with Bobbles and Beads and looked race over going through the 200. Was a good run from Looking Hot on the inside. Top ride Jason Gates. However, you've always been a fan of this horse, Bonnaroo. Lovely looking individual. Horse to beat.
Yeah, I think Bobbles and Beads, in a penultimate start when she returned from a layoff, I don't know if you recall that, canter passed. I mean, she took a hold of the bit and she basically ran away with the jockey, and she had run a race prior to the actual event. So I did expect the improvement from her last time out, because considering what happened to her in a penultimate start, she still ran a cracker. Touching on the exacta, I'd actually add in number 2 for second, Cherry for me. Well held on paper in her later starts by Bonnaroo, but I actually think this filly is much better on a turf track. I think a little bit of giving the ground will actually suit her. She's really done well on the turf track, this filly. I don't think she can trouble the favourite. I'm saying for swingers and trifectas, exactas, number 2, Cherry for me. Yeah, Bonnaroo, all she has to do is repeat her latest effort. We all know Federer was slung in on that occasion. So Bonnaroo ran well above her current rating. She couldn't pick up a penalty. So all she has to do is reproduce that effort, and it should be a steering job. But if only racing worked out that way, Brandon. But I'm sure Richard will have her in the right position. 1,200 up the straight could be ideal for her. So yes, a bank in all bets.
You met the owner of Cherie for me?
I have, yes, I have. Great guy.
Vishal Mangru.
Vishal, correct. Yeah.
Loves the game. I tell you, he sits up watching Saratoga, you name it.
So
absolutely sick for the game.
Vishal, take some swingers, exactas, get some money today.
And then send us a chop. We'll send the banking details. Let's put up those selections. Let's see what the guys are doing for race 8. Darren Burrows is going to go strong on Bonnaroo. I think we're all confident Bonnaroo will take quite a bit of beating. She's a 5-year-old bay mare. Richard Fourie gets the ride for Alan Krief.